When you're working on a car, be sure to support it not with just only the jack. Not with just only the jack. Add a jack stand, blocks, whatever you have to do to add additional support. Do not ever attempt to work on a car without adding additional support. I mean, some have done it and others have done it and been unsuccessful, got injured, some people even killed. So that's my disclaimer for this. As you can see, this is the back brakes, and if you look at the rust spot on the back, you can see where the brakes normally sit, that line right there. So the back brakes is low. So what I'm gonna do is, before I take this wheel off, I'm gonna go get the new brakes just in case, and if I don't need them, I'll take them back. The new brakes come with new brake hardware. This metal thing right here, this shiny metal right here, it comes with that new, so I'll keep you posted. But look at this rust spot right here on inside of the thing right here where the brake pad is. It's a straight line going across. That's where your brake normally sits. Okay, so this tells me that the brakes in the back are okay. This is the Infiniti Q50 rear brakes. This is me taking the tire off, looking at it with a better view. I don't know if you can see that, but these brakes are really low, and if you look at the rotor is unevenly worn. So what that's telling me is the rear pad itself is extremely low past the sensor. Okay, I just took the caliper off, and as you can see, the rotor on the driver's side is definitely unevenly worn, which means that this rear pad was staying stuck here to the rotor, which caused it to wear down. And by it being stuck, it's creating that hum or that squeal every now and then. It's supposed to move freely back in here, back and forth between here. Okay. I'm looking, and I see double shims. See? Okay. All right. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing with that, but and the hardware is a little worn. It's not really sliding like it's supposed to, and you can see right here it's rust built up there. So there was no grease. So we definitely have to change the brakes. Okay, also another thing, when your brakes start to wear down, they create this friction which creates more dust than normal, and then that dust settles in the crack in between. As you can see here, you can see where the pad was actually resting on the rotor more than it should have been, and in return it gave you that brake wear, and the debris of the brake wear went down in the center of the breather for the brake. Okay, now let's pop this back one off. The back one usually has a wear sensor, and you get that squeal or squeak when your brakes are low, and it's warning you, telling you to change. Okay, yeah, that's it right there. See it? See the sensor? So yes, when you hit the brake, this is what you're hearing, and it's unevenly worn, as you can see. Okay, I don't know what it is about these Nissans, but my car did the same exact thing, and I'll put that at the end of the video. All right, rear pad on the driver's side, and this pad has the sensor on it. This little metal thing is a sensor, and as you can see, it's really low. Your pad, I'm touching it. As you can see, that's really low, and when you stop, you was getting that hum which was warning you to change these brakes. Okay, I'm gonna show you what the new one looks like. All right, that's the new one. Now when it gets low, this one will also do the same thing, squeal and warn you when it's time to change them. Okay, let me show you the brake hardware. This is the hardware that was there. So this rust was keeping the pad from actually sliding which caused this to stick in the rear. This is why you see the uneven wear pattern in the rotor, but this still isn't below 50%. So this is okay. I mean, a lot of people would get nervous and everything. I'm telling you, it's okay. It's not below 50% at all. This was your problem right here. Uneven wear. You see that? You see it? It was sticking on the on this edge. You can see where the rust is. It was sticking. Look at that. I just did my car and they're the same exact pads. I'll show you the pads from my car too. I don't know what it is about Nissans, but they have this problem on all of them across the board. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do rear brakes and all new rear hardware. Okay, now I got everything back together on the driver's side, right? And when you put everything back together, you want to make sure that your caliper can slide freely back and forth with the factory pins. If not, then that means there's rust built up on there, or there's not enough lubricant. So you want to make sure it does this, and it does that on the top and bottom. Okay, that ensures that we won't have any stickage after everything is all back together.